I think there is a great part of trying to identify where your heritage comes, but I don't personally subscribe or ascribe, however you want to say it, to the Black woke movement.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is real talk, because I believe that, yes, you want to recognize and acknowledge who you are in where you are, but I think it's crossed the line. I think it's crossed the line to where now you want to hand, people are so quick to say Black Lives Matter, and they're so quick to throw all these things on just because of the color of my skin, and not because of what I'm contributing or what I'm doing. And so I feel like it's a very fine line that they're trying to throw us anything and everything almost as a pity party because we are Black. And that's how I feel. So I'm sitting in this circle. I got asked to go with Pastor Rick Warren, love him. Got asked to go to his ranch with some of the biggest pastors. We would all know him. We're sitting in this circle. So they want to talk about this whole
bunch of Black pastors, right?
No. Nah.
This isn't the thing I don't know. This is something different than
They had Black pastors, they had white pastors, they had Anglican priests and Orthodox priests.
But the conversation was around.
But it was around this whole
community.
thing, like, how do we reach this Black community, right? Yeah. And so it's in the wake of all of these protests and all of these things, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching these Black pastors who have large churches, like, I mean, just giants in the faith. And they're like, it's the white person, and a white man did this to my dad, and a white man did this, and it's a white man. Then I watched white people, pastors, stand up. It's white people, it's white privilege, it's this and it's that. And I'm watching them, and then I raise my hand. I say, can I say something? And they said, yeah. I said, I think my context is a little bit different, but just to give you a background, I grew up, both my parents were home, in the house, so they're not divorced. My dad grew up in segregated Virginia. I grew up in Huntington Beach, California, born and raised in Orange County for the first half, second half in the IE in Chino Hills. But we were homeless for 3 years, slept in the back of cars. We were on government assistance. I'm an ex-gang member, ex-drug dealer, ex-felon, and I am a Black man who's tattooed all over. Yeah. And so I want to give you my context of what I'm about to say.
Who also did time in prison, right?
And I went. That's it. I was in prison, incarcerated in prison, and so I said to him, I said, "Here's my biggest challenge that I have. We're so quick to yell out Black Lives Matter, but where are the Black Lives Matter marches in Chicago when 475 Black on Black homicides happen? Where's the Black Lives Matter movement there? When we talk about all of the music that we're projecting out there and we're buying it and we're doing it, where's our accountability for our own people? When we talk about where we are and how we're raised, you're taught as a young Black man or a young Black girl in most cases that you're already starting off at a deficit because of the color and the pigment of your skin. And so you can't get out because the white man is holding you down. So you're already starting off at a deficit before you even begin life. But we're doing that. And I said, my father taught me something. My dad taught me this. He says, son, don't allow somebody to judge you by the color and the pigment of your skin. Let them be able to call you out and judge you by your character and who you are. And here's the one thing that I don't get, and especially when it comes to this whole Black woke movement and where it is. Were there some prejudice? Is there prejudice out there? 100%. In my life, the craziest thing is I've had more prejudice against my own people towards me than I had from white people. Because now I'm not Black enough because I speak proper or because I grew up. So now I'm not Black enough, but I'm in the white space and I'm not white enough to be Black. And so I'm in this tension where you have this prejudice on both sides, just as bad as where, regardless of what it is. Now, I'm not taking away slavery. It's jacked up. And I do agree that there are things that are set up towards a certain community like Planned Parenthood and all of these things that originated to eradicate our people. When I say our people, I'm referring to Blacks. The challenge with the woke movement is I want you to recognize me, validate my Blackness, validate the color of my skin. And I told them this is my biggest challenge. I feel like this generation, I'm 35. Nobody has ever told me in my entire life that I can't sit at a restaurant, I can't go to a store, I can't buy shoes, I can't go to a country club, I can't go to a mall, nobody's ever told me that because of the color of my skin, and I'm 35. And most of these kids who are out here protesting, a lot of the people, they've never been told that. And so what we've done is we picked up this grudge from our great-great-uncles, our great-great-grandmothers, and we brought it into where we are now. Do we want equality in a lot of areas? Absolutely. When it comes to how you want to be treated, nobody wants to be judged, and that prejudice is everywhere. But with this whole Black woke movement, what frustrates me is we want to hold one group accountable, but we don't hold ourselves accountable.